What's going on, knuckleheads? This is George with Fighters Rep, and if you love to talk about combat sports, be sure to click the subscribe button below, like, comment, share, do everything all the people with good etiquette on YouTube typically do. And just so you guys know, this is our Vasyl Lomachenko versus Luke Campbell preview prediction. This fight, knuckleheads, for the lightweight straps that Lomachenko already has on him, plus the vacant WBC lightweight strap, is going to be a fun fight. We're going to see Vasyl Lomachenko, a consensus pound for pound, one of the best boxers in the world, going up against Luke Campbell, another fellow Olympian and also a gold medalist, just like Lomachenko was. Not a two-timer, but still a 2012 gold medalist away Vasyl Lomachenko was. And he's got a little bit more experience than Lomachenko as far as the pro ranks go, but not necessarily better experience than, obviously, as an amateur. I would have to say that Lomachenko has the advantage in pedigree and experience at the amateur level. So let's start off like we always do, knuckleheads. We're going to talk about the tail of the tape. And then once we discuss the tail of the tape and what these two kind of bring to the table, I'm going to go ahead and give you my predictions that have been pretty on the money recently. And I think, you guys should definitely hit the sports book after watching me with these boxing predictions, because I definitely feel like I know my boxing. So let's get it started right away. First thing we want to look at is their records. You've got Vasyl Lomachenko, 13 wins and 1 loss, versus Luke Campbell with 20 wins and 2 losses. As I said before, a slight experience advantage for Luke Campbell when it comes to pro boxing, but that doesn't mean he's the better boxer. Vasyl Lomachenko is considered the better boxer and has a much deeper amateur pedigree. But that being said, Luke Campbell, a little bit more experience in the pros. This is a pro fight, and that's something you do have to look out for and give him credit for. Now, as far as the knockout percentage goes, Vasyl is also slightly favored there, 10 knockouts out of 14 fights, but Luke Campbell with a not too shabby 15 knockouts out of 22 fights. Neither one of these guys is a tremendous knockout artist, but they both can knock you out and have a pretty decent knockout percentage, with Vasyl Lomachenko sporting the 71% knockout percentage, slightly more than Luke Campbell's 68% knockout percentage. Now, let's get into the physique a little bit here. If you look at Luke Campbell, he's longer, he's ganglier, he's a 5'9" lightweight. That's no joke, going up against a much smaller 5'7" Vasyl Lomachenko. And this is what they're listing them at, 5'9" versus 5'7". But if you see them standing in front of each other, it's a noticeable size difference. It almost seems like it's more than those 2 inches. So I don't know. I mean, it looks something more like at least 3 inches when they're standing face to face, but I could be wrong. And then the reach advantage, a 6-inch reach advantage for Luke Campbell. He's going to want to use that in this fight. He's going to definitely need to use that 6-inch reach advantage against a guy that's basically the best pound-for-pound boxer on a lot of people's lists. Now, I'm not saying he's there for me right now, but he's at least tied. I can't really make up my mind as to who's the best pound for pound. I got a lot of respect for Terrence Crawford as well. I would say it's between those two at this point. But definitely he's up there, and Luke Campbell's going to need that reach to fight a guy like Lomachenko, who's just an absolute anomaly in the ring. And I'm going to talk more about that in a bit. Their stance, something that's important about this fight, is that both of these guys are southpaws. Lomachenko is very fluid in the way he transitions between southpaw and orthodox. He's a special fighter, but Luke Campbell has a high IQ as well. And, he is a southpaw fighter, but high intelligence, high IQ, and not someone to to write off against Lomachenko. So, but it's interesting that both of these guys are southpaws. And then, as far as their age, they're basically the same age, with Luke Campbell being a few months older. I think they're both basically 31 years of age. Now, as far as the odds makers go, it looks like the odds makers have it in favor of Vasyl Lomachenko. Actually, he's a huge favorite in some of these websites. I see one website where they're having him as a minus 2,000 favorite over Luke Campbell. That's a massive. Favorite there. Luke Campbell's a huge underdog, and it's something that you can really understand and get behind because Lomachenko is just that special now. Despite the fact that Luke Campbell has that height advantage and that massive reach advantage, I think there are some keys in this fight that are going to give Lomachenko the huge advantage. And I think one of those keys is his incredible ability to fight at close range and at mid-range. And I feel like even if you do have a reach advantage over a guy who's so good at fighting on the inside and at mid-range and making you miss and uncomfortable with that intelligent pressure on the inside like Lomachenko has, with his fantastic footwork and reflexes that give him the ability to fight in that distance, that reach advantage no longer becomes an advantage because you're forced to sort of smother your punches or tighten them up. And so, Vasyl Lomachenko, I mean, just with his supreme talent in the boxing ring, between his movement and his timing and his speed and his reflexes and his ability to fight on the inside and at mid-range, I think it sort of destroys any sort of reach advantage that taller, longer fighters have against them. I mean, it's really a special thing to watch, and it has given him the ability to move up in weight against these much taller guys that he's fighting. Luke Campbell being the tallest, is my understanding, guy that Vasyl Lomachenko has fought. But it's almost as if everybody he's fought has been taller than him, with the exception of Rigo, and that's Guillermo Rigondeaux. What does Luke Campbell need to do to win this fight? I think what Luke Campbell needs to do to win this fight is be very busy. Be very, very busy at long range. He can't let Lomachenko get comfortable at mid-range or at close range because he's going to get. He's got a lot of, I think it's sambo experience or wrestling experience. That's the kind of thing. That's the kind of thing that allows guys to manipulate people at close range. And so I don't think that that's going to be a good thing for Luke Campbell. So Luke Campbell's going to have to fight, in my opinion, to win this fight or to have a chance to win. He's going to have to be very active from the outside. That's what he's going to have to do. And he's going to have to throw his shots. I don't think he's going to be able to headhunt. I don't think headhunting is a good idea against Lomachenko. I think it's almost like if you're this is what they taught you growing up playing basketball. If you grew up playing basketball like me, you need to follow the hips. I think he needs to go for the body down the middle because that's the thing that moves the least with a guy as elusive as Lomachenko. So, I mean, Luke Campbell's going to have a very hard time in this fight, but he does have the pedigree to give Lomachenko some problems. And it's a boxing match. Anybody could win. And that's basically the chance I'm giving him. It's a very slim chance. Very, very slim. He's going to have to, again, box and be really active from the outside, I think, and keep Lomachenko at the end of his punches, which is a lot easier said than done. He's got some decent footwork, and I think he's going to be able to do okay in spurts, but eventually I think he might get finished in there in the later rounds because Lomachenko is just such a beast, you guys. And I'm not kissing ass. I'm not saying this, I'm not a Lomachenko fanboy or whatever. I'm an objective observer. I love combat sports. I appreciate combat sports. I do a little bit of sparring and I've been watching the sport my entire life, and I've never seen anybody do things that Lomachenko does. That's not to say that there aren't people with a supreme skill level that I've seen before. I mean, the first person that comes to my mind is Floyd Mayweather. I think he's one of the best to ever do it. And then Roy Jones. And then I also think Terrence Crawford at this time is a really great fighter. But I've never quite seen somebody with a style like Lomachenko. It's just such a difficult style, it seems like, to master. You need special athletic ability. You need extremely fast decision-making skills. I always see him playing these like logic and mind games in his training, and I feel like that definitely sharpens his mind. You need a sharp mind to fight the way Lomachenko was, the way Lomachenko does, all that movement, all those reflexes. I mean, it's like he sees punches coming before they happen. He sees something. He's got so much experience. He sees stuff that the rest of us don't see, and he's just a special talent. And if you guys haven't seen him haven't seen him fight, which would be crazy in my opinion, you should tune into this fight to see what I'm talking about. For the rest of us knuckleheads that are big-time boxing fans and fight fans, you know what I'm talking about. This guy's special. So that's my prediction. I think Lomachenko finishes him in the mid to late rounds. He's just too much for everybody, man. He's just strong, fast, incredible reflexes. I don't see anybody beating Lomachenko. I thought maybe Tank Davis would give him a good fight if he ever moved up at this point. It would probably be a good fight, but I don't think he'd be ready either. This guy's such a beast. I thought Rigo was going to give him a good fight. Guillermo Rigondeaux, I thought he had a chance to beat Lomachenko, and he got retired on his stool. So, I mean, I think that's going to be a similar result, except I don't think Luke Campbell will quit. I think Luke Campbell will probably want to go out on his shield. He's an Olympic gold medalist. He's a proud guy. He's a long guy. He's probably going to think he's got a shot to the very bitter end. And I just don't see it, you guys. So tell me what you think, guys. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm crazy. Definitely click the links below to get your Fighters Rep merchandise. Click the links below. Be sure to subscribe. Click the links below or in the super chat to donate money. All of it, or the majority of it, gets reinvested right back into Fighters Rep Promotions, which is going down September 21st. If you're anywhere near Los Angeles or Orange County, get your tickets. It's the most action-packed combat sport in the world. It's unified rules kickboxing. There's no clinch. You got to stand and bang it out. And if you're nowhere near California, be sure to tune in right here live at the YouTube channel. We're going to be airing the fights live. We've got something like 15 fights matched already. So it's definitely going to be worth your while. And some of the best camps in the world are down here in Southern California. So definitely tune in. And that's all I got for you guys tonight. Be sure to tune in immediately after the fight. We're going to be discussing it as we usually do. And until then, knuckleheads, keep your noses clean.